Today on Knife Banter, we are talking hunting knives. Let's go. What's up, guys? Welcome to our hunting knife buyer's guide. Now, I've got my notes right here. We have a lot of knives on the table. First of all, big shout out to our guys over at Badlands. They hooked us up with some hunting gear. So let's jump into the first knife. This is the Morakniv Companion. Now, this is the heavy duty companion. The best part about this knife is the price. $20.95 on the website. You get a 4-inch blade. It's high carbon steel. You get a rubberized handle, really good grip. This knife is perfect if you're going bushcrafting or you're starting a fire. You could also use this if you're dressing an animal, cleaning it out. It's just a good all-around knife. And for 20 bucks, if you lose it, no big deal. Comes with the plastic sheath. It's got a good snap and a belt loop there. It's a good knife, and honestly, you can use this knife for so many different applications when it comes to hunting. $21. Let's go. Next up, we have got the K-Bar Dozier in this hunting orange and black combination. It's got Oz-8 steel, it's got a polymer handle, it's a lockback with a pocket clip on the one side. It can be reversible. What is super cool about this is you get a hollow grind. If I had this knife and I was taking it hunting, this would probably go in my pocket or just in a pocket on my bag. This is more of I have a backup folding pocket knife in my pocket, but it's always a good backup to have in your pack or on your person. And $20.50. Now we're going from low to high as far as price. This one is a CRKT Schwartz Tailbone fixed blade. Now what's interesting about this is this. What? Instead of having a handle, it's paracord. And so you're able to grip it and you're able to actually, it contours to your hand very well. Personally, I probably would not use this as a hunting knife. It does come with the sheath that you can strap it up onto your neck. But for me, I'm not big into the finger ring on knives. Plus, I want something a little more sturdy. But if you want something as a cool backup, and it's definitely a conversation piece, maybe you're at base camp and you want to show the guys a new knife, this is pretty cool. It's got a hollow grind here, and it is $25 on the website. Moving on, we have got the CRKT Mossback bird and trout knife. There's a lot of bird and trout knives, and they usually are the smaller end of a fixed blade. For trout fishing, for bird hunting, you don't really need a buck 119. You don't need something that big, especially if you're doing small game hunting, fishing. This is actually a really cool carry. You get this nylon sheath with the belt loop here. It's got a 2.85 inch blade. It's SK5 steel. This one also has a hollow grind. You still want the thickness and the strength of the tang of the blade, the spine, but you also want something very slicey, especially if you're cleaning an animal and you got to get into the detail spots. A very small fixed blade can do that for you. Now, I personally like having a variety of knives. I usually have a smaller fixed blade and then a bigger fixed blade, and that's it. We forgot to get this on the table. We have replaceable blade knives, and I forgot to get them on the table, guys, but make sure you jump on the website, check out those replaceable blade knives, because I use those personally for a lot of the detail work around like joints. If I harvested a big game animal, I do like to have a little replaceable blade just so I can keep it sharp and just keep going. When you hunt and you harvest an animal, you want to get that meat off and cool as quick as possible. So little knife, bird and trout, CRKT, this is $27 on the website. Next knife on the table is the Cold Steel Pendleton Mini Hunter. So another small fixed blade in here. You get a bigger stock here on this big old flat grind. This is Oz 10A steel. You get this 90-degree sharp edge. So if you're running a fire stick or something like that, it's perfect for it. You're gonna get a good spark. It's got this nice rubberized handle. So this is just over 2 ounces. You get this very secure plastic sheath with the nylon handle strap. Pretty cool knife. $29 on the website, guys. You can get these knives plus these all from under 30 bucks, which is crazy. And it's gonna stay sharp. You take a little sharpener with you. You might have to just touch it up a little bit, but this is a perfect small hunting knife. All right, guys, we have got the Buck 110 ebony folder lockback. This one has 420 HC steel. This is made in the USA. It's obviously the lockback. This is ebony wood. You got your bronze bolsters. And this one comes in at a weight of 7.5 ounces. So significantly heavier. This is more of a knife that Grandpa used to go hunting with. And it's a great knife. It totally works for the application, right? But in my personal opinion, I think there's some stuff that works better. So Buck 110 with the ebony is $59.99 on the website, and you get this really cool leather sheath. Kind of a traditional classic type of hunting knife. All right, guys, we have a knife from Tops. Now this is cool because it has this little logo on here. This knife is called the 3-point fixed blade drop point blade knife, skeletonized from Tops. Now, you got this little deer antler here, 3-pointer. This knife is actually really cool if you're wanting a very lightweight knife. If you're counting those ounces, this is a great smaller fixed blade to have. Weight-wise, this comes in at 1.73 ounces. It's made in the USA, in Idaho. There's a little stamp back there. They do this really cool coating that protects the 1095 steel from rusting and catching some of those, you know, the nasty stuff that gets in the steel. Super lightweight, skeletonized. You've got a lot of options as far as this sheath. You can do it horizontal or scout carry, and you can also adjust these, maybe put a UD clip on there and carry it vertically. It does come with a chain. Some people would wear it as a neck knife. I'm not huge into neck knives, especially when you're hunting. Like for me, for example, so our hunt, the archery hunt in Utah starts on the 15th of August and goes for a month. So it's extremely hot out there. So to have something inside my shirt or outside my shirt just bouncing around, not really my jam, especially because I also have a bino case that I wear on my chest. So it just kind of gets in the road. You do have a whistle, $79.95 for the 3-pointer. Okay, next knife on the table is one of my favorites. This is a White River M1 Backpacker Pro. This is a really great step up small hunting knife. The steel, you've got S35 VN steel. It is a drop point blade. It is flat grind with the jimping. And it's got this really big finger choil. Like you have got such a solid purchase on this that it's not gonna fall out of your hands, guys. G10 scales, it is just over 3 ounces, made in the USA. For me personally, I like to have my knives on my backpack straps, like here or here, because it's out of the way. And it's easy to access, but it's out of the way. It's not stabbing or poking you. It's obviously on the outside of your pack. I love this knife. It is a great one. It sells very quick. We also come in a couple different color variations. I think like right now, I think we have a lime green handle scale. So think of the colors as you are purchasing. That knife goes for $120 on the website. All right, next knife on the table is a Bradford Guardian3. This is a cool knife. It comes with a really nice leather sheath. for horizontal or scout carry. It's got this extremely aggressive G10 scales here with extra traction for your grip. You get a nice finger choil here. So for the hams right here, I can get all 4 fingers wrapped around that handle, which is nice. You get the jimping, you get D2 steel. It's a 3.5-inch blade, so you get a little more blade with a little less handle, which cuts down on the weight and the size and makes it a little less bulky. For me personally, this G10 texture is a little much, a little overboard. It's very grippy, but I don't know if it would be comfortable enough in my hand processing a mule deer. Something big like that. So this, we've got a flat grind. This comes in at 3.5 ounces, and you can pick up the Guardian 3 for $120 on the website. All right, guys, we're getting into bigger knives now. I'm gonna be talking more about the weight and the use as far as processing big game. Also, some of these larger knives, I mean, you can use them for bushcrafting, base camp, cooking at base camp. Just all depends on what kind of hunting you do. This is a cool knife, guys. The Fallkniven convex grind VG10 steel. You get this rubberized grippy handle, which is really cool. Full flat grind, tons of blade stock, all the way through to the end. You get a little pommel hammer in case you need to Morse code or something like that. This is from Sweden. Now, guys, this is actually a legit great hunting knife. It's fairly lightweight. It comes in at 5.20 ounces. Not that bad. You get a full grip on that handle, which is really cool. And you get a lot of blade for what you're getting. $125 on the website. It comes with this hard plastic sheath. It locks in there really well. Maybe we can actually show that right here. And then you've got your nylon handle strap here. So a little more of a belt carry knife. I'm not sure if you could strap it up. I mean, you do have lanyard hole, or like a lanyard or like a paracord holes you can do here. You might be able to fasten it to your backpack a little bit. But the F1 is a really cool knife, and honestly, I would really suggest this as a great hunting knife. Something to throw in your pack. Or maybe you hunt out of your truck or a UTV or something like that, and it's just nice to have just stashed into the little pocket where you put all your gloves and miscellaneous items. All right, that is it for the Fallkniven F1. Now, up next, we have got another fixed blade here from Essie. Now, I own an SE3. It's my workhorse. S35 VM blade, steel. You've got your jimping here along the spine. You get this grooved G10 handle. It's milled out to really give you a nice grip, but it also doesn't tear up your hands. Good choil here. You can also choke up on it, which I love, and the tang protrudes out so you can get some paracord in there or something like that. Maybe you will need to wrap it around your hands or fasten it to something, you know. So guys, this is a cool knife made in the USA as always, and this comes in at 6 ounces. You do get this kind of large and bulky sheath, but it has a nice click. Good click, good retention, and you get a lot of options as far as these holes in the sheaths. So SE3 fixed blade, I love mine. Mine has my Carta handles and they're nasty and I love it. $130 on the website. Now, this next knife, I would not hunt with this knife. Probably ever. But is it a knife to take to base camp? Maybe you're going with your buddies elk hunting and you're going to elk base camp. You've got to have a big tough knife, maybe for splitting wood or chopping up miscellaneous biscuits and grits. Whatever you need to do, this thing is the workhorse to do it. I personally would never put this on my pack and go hunting because it comes in at almost 16 ounces. This is a big old boy. You get a 5¼ inch blade. You get very aggressive jimping here. You get the nice coating to protect the 1095 steel. You get this pommel that comes through the bottom here. Maybe you need to do some Morse code or some tappy, choppy. It has a bow drill hole. I'm sure that corner, the little edges here are gonna patina well with some bow drill. All right, guys, big old fat grind on this bad boy, micarta. This thing is a beast. I call this the leaf spring of Essie because that is some thick steel. It's a 1/4 inch steel. That is thick. Holy cow. Like I said, I probably wouldn't personally take this knife hunting unless I'm going to a base camp, something like that. This is more of a knife that I shove in my truck. It's a good backup, or maybe I need to use it to split logs. Maybe it's a bear attack. I don't know. I've never seen a bear in Utah in the wild, so. And I've spent some days out there. Okay, now to the Buck 119. Now, this is the Special Pro edition. It's got this micarta handle, very polished. You get your nice guard here, which is cool. You get a little bit of a fuller, big old clip point. This one comes with S35VN steel. You get a really cool cutout here as you're going towards the tip on the spine. A lot of styling with this knife. It's a very classic design. This, just like the Buck 110, is a great knife for hunting. A lot of times your dad or maybe your grandpa, they've used these knives to hunt. But I'll tell you right now that this knife is still just as significant as any of these other knives when it comes to the hunting application. You get a really nice leather sheath, slides in there really nice wraparound clip here. You got a belt carry, a little more of traditional hunting fixed blade on your grandpa's hip or on your hip if you like the nostalgia of it. You get the upgraded steel, it's hollow point. This one comes in just over 8 ounces, and Buck, as you know, all made in the USA. So, pretty good fixed blade, not necessarily my style. All right, guys, next knife on the table is from Bark River. This is the Adventurer 2. This comes with LMAX steel. You get a pretty thick blade stock. It's got this cute little fuller. I just think that's a cool aesthetic to blades. It just looks cool. I like to look at the details, and even though it's just a fuller, you know, but it adds that aesthetic to the blade, which is really cool. You got your jimping right here. You have multiple finger choils to choke up on this thing. You can get a good solid hand grip in either place. And this is a little over a 3.5-inch blade, and the weight, it comes in at 373 ounces. Cool micarta, you get a lanyard hole here, and you obviously get the full tang. Now, this is more my style as far as a hunting knife. I would prefer a little more length on my hunting blade, but, you know, to each their own. Cool leather sheath, and you can get that one for $210. All right, guys, second to last knife on the table is the Acta non-Verba. This is the M311 Spelter. Now, the Acta non-Verba knives, they come out of the Czech Republic, but you really get a lot of purchase with this blade. I don't necessarily think this is a good hunting knife. You can go hunting with any knife, right? Let's be real. But this is more of like a big, bulky, it gives me a little more of a tactical vibe. But Acta non-Verba is coming out with cool stuff. You get that soft texture with the micarta. It is milled. You have jimping here. You obviously have 2 finger choils. You can choke up really good. And you actually have a lot of control. This rounded handle fits really well in my hands. When you're skinning an animal and cleaning it out, that comes in handy. All right, guys, this has a 4 3/4 inch blade. You get some interesting cuts here on the spine. Overall, it is a really cool knife. Don't get me wrong, I like it. I think it's a great knife, but for a hunting application, not really my jam. Also, this knife isn't really my jam in general, but it is great, especially if you're into bigger fixed blades. It's got a really good purchase on the handle. Now this knife comes with a nice Kydex sheath, multiple straps here with a ton of different holes in the sheath that you can put any kind of clip situation on there, I'm sure. Like I said, I probably wouldn't take this knife hunting, but if you're into big fixed blades, this thing is absolutely cool to the max. It comes in at 10 ounces, so it's not going on my backpack when I'm hiking 5 miles in. Now, we have got this beauty. Now, this is a Winkler Knives Blueridge Hunter. Let's reveal the beauty on this thing. Guys, this thing is extra cool. It's 80 CV2 steel. It's got this nice coating on the blade to help keep it away from any kind of unwanted minerals diving into that steel. Now, this is made in the USA. It has a very unique jimping style, which is interesting. It's actually pretty rough on my thumb when I really get after it, but it does add a nice thumb ramp. This knife is very slicey with a beautiful flat grind. Maple wood for the scales, and you get the little detail where it says Winkler Knives on the spine. This thing is a beauty. I absolutely would take this hunting with me, just for the fact that I'm a knife guy. I want to go hunting with a cool knife. So something like this is great for me personally. It comes with a lot of options as far as the sheath here. It's leather, beautiful. This thing smells like magic, and I love it. Weight on this knife is 4.6 ounces. So it's right around in that like mid-range, you know. This to me would be a great knife right here. I love it. It's out of the way. You get a little, it's a bigger sheath, you know, with the leather coming out around the holes here. But outside on your shoulder strap here for your backpack, it would work perfect because it's out of the way, easy to access. Whether you're skinning an animal or setting up base camp, maybe you're setting up trail cams, you know. These knives are great knives as far as hunting application goes. Now, I am not saying that these are the best hunting knives. These are some knives that are great for hunting. Some of them aren't really my style, but they all have great application when you're going out into the woods. All right, guys, that's what we have for you for the hunting buyer's guide. There are plenty of other hunting knives on the website. Jump on there, check it out, bladehq.com. One more big shout out to my friend Blake at Badlands for hooking us up with the cool gear. And we will catch you guys on the next one.